This next one is in a collection I have that's called In This House. It's coming out in 2015. I'm the holdup. I'm checking things. But this is also, it will also be published in Her Texas. It's called How to Fight Like a Girl. To fight like a girl, you must first become an ocean, to hold back the crush of tears pooling beneath the ducks. You must learn to walk through the day with the fish of fear floating through the coral of your belly. At the sound of battle, you must paint your nails the boldest blood shade of red and use them like shark to maim and masticate those piranha emotions, gnawing at your strength. You must get off your knees after the tentacles of cancer and chemo, nausea and fatigue, pain and weakness, grasp your body and feed on all things woman. You must remember you are a woman. When lavas of sweat roll from your bald head and flank your face and your lips crack and flake like a dried beach, you must stand straight, wash yourself in softness, tattoo stars on your fist, and sing praises for the half moons in the sky of your breast.
And who wants to follow that? Well, I think maybe we could bring up Stan Crawford from Houston to do Stan's poem, by the way, is
the week of May 17th.
Thank you.
This is Refinery Road. Driving west from Corpus Christi Bay, you soon see the ship channel towers, those dingy silver refinery spires, some flaring gas and flame. Each day, fathers and sons, cousins and neighbors enter the gates, walk the pipes, measure tanks, don neoprene for turnarounds on the cat crackers, wearing masks fed by pressure demand oxygen when monitoring levels of H2S, acids, and salts. In 1999, as sirens screamed and the earth trembled, a black-yellow boil of caustic mist leaped out and enveloped David, Danny, and Hector inside the perimeter fence as they ran for their lives. In a sudden whirlwind of chemical ash, their world cracked apart, though they all lived. Daily, their wives trudged into the burn unit to see their untouchable, unrecognizable husbands stored behind sterilized glass. Sailboats still danced on the bay, and the price of gas at the pump didn't change. My second poem is a recent poem. It was an exercise in a class I took this fall based on a writing exercise in Richard Hugo's book, The Triggering Town, which some of you probably know. And he based it on an exam question that Theodore Retsky used to give his writing students. He'd give them a list of 10 nouns and 10 verbs and 10 adjectives chosen at random and tell them they had to use 5 from each list and compose a poem in 3 stanzas, each stanza with 6 lines, each line with approximately 4 beats, 2 internal and 1 external rhyme. No more than 2 of the lines didn't stop, and they had to do this in an hour, and he gave them a grade on it.
Oh, wow.
So, see, makes my workshop seem kind of easy, right?
I know, great.
And Hugo says this is an example of how cruel Retke could be as a teacher. Anyway, this was my effort to do in a week what Retke students did in an hour. Season of Mists. A season of cool blues arrives, curving across the horizon. Belief condenses in wavering lines of thought along the stems and browning leaves, and swings upon the pivot between throat and heart. The butcher opens his red door and tosses a tasty rib to a dog trotting past. Migrating birds shoot videos of clouds and share them with important cats. Our hearts surprise us and delight the eyes by folding out into paper bouquets. What's that about? Magritte would know. His bird cages all swing open. His bowlered bureaucrats fall down like rain, and no mud spills into blue gutters. Nothing left to say except that we are frogs singing in the mists, hoping to be caught and kissed.
I knew Stan could do it. Let us go back to Austin and bring up another one of our local treasures, Katherine Oldmixon. Her poem is in the week of September 13th. She also has an excellent exercise in the first wing beats, the one with the blue cover that's on the table there. Katherine.
And so where is it, Scott?
September 13th, the week of my birthday.
Oh.
Go ahead and mark that in your calendar.
September 15th.
You got it.
House cricket. A cricket in the potted corn plant sings so brightly, I thought we had left open a window or door all night. Listen, if you count the chirps for 14 seconds and add 40, you will know just how hot this moment. He is lonely and lustful, harping his forewing over his hind wing in stridulation, eve after morning. No female seems to hear this serenata, to lift her knees in wild grass and let syllables fall onto tympanic membranes. The drought drones on. Listen. It doesn't seem like winter outside, but I'm going to read a winter poem from Water Signs, which I'm also flashing at you as if that were back there. It's not. But what is back there are postcards for Poetry at Round Top Festival, which I co-direct, and I hope that you'll pick one up because it's going to be a wonderful festival coming up.
Do tell them some of the names coming.
Only these. Sharon Olds, Richard Blanco, Alan Bass, Kevin Proofer, Patricia Smith, Carrie Fountain, Malachi Black, Michael McGriff, and Laura Van Cree. And we will open registration on January the 12th. If I were you and you want to go, and especially if you want to get into one of those workshops, register on January the 12th. Shy Sirens. Moonwash over a city at twilight, cased with early ice in the aftermath of blue northers. Piercing winds that streak night with sleep transform bridges and footpaths to glass. How you love ice-sleeved willows singing like shy sirens in weeping wind, where their lacy roots shelter creek shallows on impoverished ground. Their branches depend grassy waters in ditches and landfills, wetlands beneath sunless blue, silk-thin skies. Who would know that they suffer road salt spills in winter, sloshed where the stream lies low, through the aquifer's limestone layers, seeping from hidden caverns to rain rivers.
Next, we're going to bring up a pair of poets, not one, but two poets. And they are going to perform together. So let's welcome two poets from San Antonio, Janice Cambell and Toni Falls.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Some of you know that Janice and I co-authored a book this last spring entitled Braided Stream, a poetry duet. We took all of our poems, sifted through them to find ones that seemed to echo each other, and made a collaborative weaving, a kind of call and response. We'll read our Texas Poetry Calendar poems first, and then we'll read a pair of poems from Braided Stream to give you a small, sweet taste of the book. Braided Stream is available on the table.
Who's reading first?
Toni.
Toni's poem is on the week of January 25th.
Enduring this endless winter. At night I hear deer dance, a ballet across the ice in search of water. At first light I venture out. A granite sky looks like it might fall. The pond, humped with snow, reveals light tracings from tiny hooves. Scrimshaw on white bone.
Janice's poem is on November 8th.
At the Cracker Barrel Restaurant, Abilene, Texas, November 11th, 2013. Across from a crackling fire, on a table dressed in white linen, a lit candle flares beside a single rose in a yellow beribboned vase and a small plate with lemon slice, salt. At the table's four corners, crisp military caps, one each for soldier, sailor, airman, Marine. At this 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the table's glassware is inverted, chairs tipped forward, a table reserved for those not yet returned home. The sounds of a busy restaurant recede behind a whispered, remember.
The road home. When mesquite trees whisper names and beloved faces enter dreams, it's time to go home. Road winds over deep running rivers, through rice fields, old hills, pastures of belly-high grass. Ancient strains of hammered dulcimers echo off high ridges, naked ridges. Float through river valleys, blue-flowered calico. Grizzled farmers in frayed gimme caps still greet by lifting two fingers from steering wheels of rickety trucks. Women in faded bonnets stoop in gardens of pole beans, okra, big boy tomatoes. White clapboard churches nestle among pines and oaks, steeples sharing the sky with trees. Graveyards' white headstones look like fields of poppies. In the sun, amazing grace wafts from open doors, invites breezes and sinners to enter. I am again in the place I began, land of gentle people. The slow, soft voices rest easy on this ear. The road climbs the ridge to my son's home, and grandchildren's laughter is strung among trees, lanterns filled with fireflies, where the world spills over with child blue eyes I sink again into the tender care of family, friends, pick up loose ends of past conversations, and continue like reading a novel I never want to finish. When I leave, I follow the same road home to sprawling live oaks, Spanish missions, lemon yellow esperanzas, to a man with blue-gray eyes who knows the road always circles back to him.
And the companion park is Friedrich Park. Companion poem. Friedrich Park. A tree shadow slants across the trail. Small puffs of dust explode with each footfall. Moving across tree roots, rock tops, I recall a mountaineer's words. There are no unimportant steps. Placing one foot after the other, judging contours, estimating drop downs and step ups, feeling a way along scree slopes, I remember a mountaineer's words. Make each step count. All this long, hot summer, hiking the trails of Friedrich Park, I learned my lesson. There is only the next step, and you here walking beside me, every step counting.